What's up, guys? This is Capes Eat Free. This is our Iron Man episode.
This is Chad, the resident movie nerd.
Chad, you're about to say something.
What was I going to say?
You're leaning in close to the mic. You're ready.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I was excited. You got me excited.
I was introduced. I thought you were looking at me to do my intro, and I introduced myself.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
Yep.
And this is Chris, the film school dropout. And I made sure I didn't lean towards, so it didn't come off like I was going to say anything special.
All right, guys. So we are about to start the audio commentary for what many people consider the film that reignited the Marvel universe and the comic book movie world.
I mean, it kind of did. It kicked off the whole MCU, and it's
I think it was the first one, so I don't think it was like
it's a milestone.
dispute.
And also had that, what was that? It was like 154 million opening weekend. That had never been done before, right?
No, it did not have an opening weekend that big.
Are you sure? Or no, it was 108. It was 108. 108 million. Because Dark Knight was like 150.
I don't know if the first one had...
I don't know if it was that
don't
big.
quote me, I don't
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
If you know in the comment section, make sure to comment and make me look stupid, because I'm not the resident film nerd, resident movie nerd. I don't know all these facts.
I don't have it off the top of my head, but that sounds like a very high figure.
Yeah, that sounds
We
a little
will
high.
confirm. We'll figure it out.
I'm pretty sure.
have the biggest opening weekend.
108 million. I think that's what I will sell my left toe. One of them, if I'm wrong.
All right, hey. Who's in the market for a left toe? Okay.
All right, guys. So without further ado, let's get this bad boy started. Let's do a countdown. 5, 4,
3,
2, 1. We can just edit out that blowing thing.
This menu looks like the cartoon version of the Iron Man.
But that was big back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, this was graphics.
Back was it 2000?
2008. Yeah, this was graphics 2008. Whew. When you get a chance, watch that Iron Man menu.
Back when Paramount had distribution control of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yep.
Why'd that happen?
Well,
Marvel Studios produced their own movies, and then Paramount just had the distribution. But then Disney bought Marvel in 2012, and they bought out the rights to the past and future Marvel movies.
Jesus. That's a lot.
Because Paramount did a co-producing deal. See, if Paramount went all in, shoot, they'd have all that money right now.
Those movies in the works at a lot of different studios for like 20 years.
I remember I was at Comic-Con in 2006, and they were talking about this film. Everyone was talking so much trash about it. Like, why do we need an Iron Man movie? This is ridiculous.
Do you know they actually, when Marvel Studios was going to take control and make their own movies, the main motivation for doing them was not because they thought the movies were going to make a lot of money, but because they wanted to re-spark like merchandise sales for toys. That was their main motivation for doing this. They didn't think the movies were going to make a lot of money, and they didn't know which ones to make, so they actually did focus testing with kids, and kids actually responded to Iron Man the most. And once they explained he wasn't a robot, he's actually a person, like from the feedback they got from some focus testing of kids, that's how they decided to do Iron Man first, instead of like Captain America or something.
Right. That makes sense. How old were these kids?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
And this is before what network has Iron Man on? Is that Disney Channel?
Disney XD. Yeah, this is
Disney
before
XD.
Disney owned Marvel. That wasn't until 4 years after this.
Jeez.
This is all filmed. All these desert Afghanistan scenes are all filmed up near, like, Inyo, California. I think up that way.
Oh, not bad. I like that they opened with this too.
Yeah.
Open and then we go backwards.
And we got like before smartphones and
No,
this
don't
was
put this
like
on your MySpace.
MySpace. MySpace. My God.
You knew something was gonna happen there. It's so intense. Oh, we forgot to sync up. So for those people out there, we're at about 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the Iron Man 1.
Yeah, it's pretty rough for Tony right now.
What Greek myth is this based off of? There has to be one. Ooh, it exploded.
You know he only made like $3.5 million salary for this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, what's he making? Like $50 million per MCU movie? It's like insane.
I like that he has a flak jacket on.
Yeah.
Under his suit.
And let me talk about the future, but that scene right there where you have the bomb that flies right there and you see Stark Industries on it. It's kind of a throw forward to when Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver talk about this. This is their motivation in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry, Ultron. Their motivation in Ultron that they hate Stark is because they sat with a bomb that said Stark in their living room for I think it was like 2 months, I believe.
And waiting for it.
Waiting for it to explode.
Oh.
That's right.
So Tony has to live with this a lot through even later once he's with, all during like Civil War and stuff, or because of the events of Sokovia and Age of Ultron when he has to, he's confronted with the mother in Civil War whose son got killed in Sokovia and they have to live with that guilt and that leads to the Accords and everything. Like, so he's first is his weapons killing people and then it's his, actions with the team.
Mm-hmm. So he must
different guy playing Howard Stark, and this is before what's his name, John?
Slattery.
Yeah, it's John Slattery. Yeah,
it's before John Slattery.
Yeah, I think this is the only time.
Or Dominic Cooper, the younger version of
Stark. Right.
When they show those younger pictures.
Yes, that's right.
Do you think that? So Tony he deals with the most grief in the whole entire Marvel universe. Yeah. Like, he's the superhero that deals with the most of regret, the most remorse.
He is. He probably is, like, the most emotionally complex of the Avengers, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Rhodey.
The original. The OG Rhodey.
Yes. One hit wonder Rhodey.
My doppelganger, supposedly.
He's making that empire money.
I can see that. All right, I see a little bit. Yeah.
The empire money.
He was just coming off an Oscar nomination for Hustle and Flow.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Well, that's probably why he got this.
He was actually like the biggest name. I mean, Jeff Bridges is big too, but like Terrence Howard was riding a pretty big wave at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't. He was like...
He was just coming up. He was just coming back up again.
He just had Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
So, I don't fault him for wanting more money in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, he had Tropic Thunder the same year, so it was a good year for
That's
Robert Downey Jr.
This was, Tropic Thunder was like, 3 months after this, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he got an Oscar nomination from Tropic Thunder, too, didn't he?
Supporting?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
I think he did.
That's right.
There's Favreau.
Happy
Hogan.
Yeah.
Dude, Favreau was coming off of directing Elf and Zathura when he directed this. Zathura, which is a Jumanji sequel most people have forgotten about.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
about it.
Like Favreau, who knew?
Yeah. To jump and do action like this. I really feel...
Favreau gets producing credits on all the Iron Man and Avengers movies.
Yeah, he got producing on Infinity War.
Yep.
Yeah. Who could have played Iron Man better? No one.
Nicolas Cage was up for it. Tom Cruise at one point in the 90s almost was going to do it and wanted to produce it and stuff.
Interesting. Tom Cruise. The thing is, I feel like Tom Cruise could pull it off. It just wouldn't be as authentic.
Yeah.
I don't know. He feels like he's authentic.
Yeah. She had a good few years.
Oh, Favreau was still skinny in 2008.
Favreau was huge, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 6'1". I remember seeing him coming to the DGA. He was, like, tall.
Yeah.
Maybe 6'2". Who knows? I first saw her in Ricky Bobby.
Leslie Bibb.
Oh,
yes. Leslie Bibb. That's right.
Please be 18.
Mm-hmm.
The MCU is so old, this was shot on 35mm film.
This was? Wow.
Just think about how hard it must be, and to show how successful the filmmakers and Robert Downey Jr. testament to them to make Tony a likable character.
Yeah.
So easily just... I mean, he's such a sleazy, like, douchebag, rich guy, but, like, they... Over time, maybe it takes a bunch of movies, but, like, you like him, you know?
Yeah.
Right. When was he ever not likable? I don't think he was ever a character that
I don't think so, but
as
I mean,
a character?
Yeah, as a character.
He
Well,
has most
I
of
mean, they
those
try to turn him into a bad
traits.
guy in Civil War a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But, well,
that's
the
what
great thing about how Civil War works is, like, you could see each person's point of view.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't
Yeah, you
seem
can actually
forced. Like, you
understand it.
totally got why each person was choosing that side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Favreau decided to... It was Favreau's idea to set this in California because most superhero movies, you know, Spider-Man and all that, Batman's very New York-like. Everything was New York.
Right.
So he's like, we don't see any superhero stuff in L.A. And this actually filmed all in L.A., before that, all the movies moved to, like, Atlanta. They actually, Captain Marvel's filming in L.A. right now, Brie Larson. So, yeah. Well,
I don't know why it's just one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but
Pepper Potts throwing shade.
yeah, that's what. She throws shade with like ease, and like she's done this before.
Right.
Yeah, Grace, yes.
She comes into her domain talking mad trash. Pepper just shuts her down. Women on women crime right here.
Oh.
Like these little moments here, so good. No dialogue, nothing. Just him building things. Mm-hmm. You like learn who he is as a character so easily. Yeah. Oh, Jarvis.
How cool is that he wouldn't appear in person as Jarvis till, 7 years after this?
Yeah.
Paul Bettany wouldn't actually appear on screen until Ultron. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at that, the colors of his hot rod. Precursor to the colors of his suit.
So yeah, I think Stan Lee, he was based off like Howard Hughes, kind of a billionaire, playboy, inventor, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of a cool thing is this filmed down in Playa del Rey at the old Howard Hughes hangars that were converted into sound stages, where he built like the Spruce Goose and stuff.
Oh wow!
So it's kind of cool.
I really want to know how women feel about seeing Tony. Like, this is 10 years ago.
Yeah, you see him.
Kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, if you see the last one, you see him being all family man, being a good boyfriend.
Yeah. Will this stand the test of time? That's the question. It has so far. It's going to.
I almost forgot. See that they've been through so many movies. I almost forgot they're not a couple yet at this point.
Yeah, and it's but the thing is when you see this, you see Pepper Potts seeing all the Playboy stuff, all that stuff, and
yet she's still with them.
Yeah, and
such a double standard. Like if I was a guy, and I saw that, that's so horrible. We can't like Tony Stark. We can't be men and like Tony Stark here in 2018.
We can't officially like Tony Stark.
We can like Tony Stark in the locker room, but I don't know, man. I kind of miss Terrence Howard as Rhodey.
I like Terrence Howard, but I don't know how I like Cheadle though. Cheadle's great.
I mean, they're both fantastic actors.
Yeah, and they played Rhodey differently. I like Cheadle's Rhodey better than I like.
Terrence Howard's just like almost a little too serious.
Yeah,
like he's I picture Terrence Howard more as like a serious actor.
Mm-hmm.
Cheadle, because Cheadle was in like the Ocean's 11 movies. You know, Cheadle
he can do both.
He's done lighter roles. You know, he can have fun, and I think he kind of has fun with it. He fits in well with the tone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he would have made it work, and it would have worked.
I mean, I do like this when it comes to it, and it's just like
that's what makes this payoff so good. Like Chris is saying, because he is that stone cold. What is it? What does he say? The fun bee?
Yes, the fun bee.
He doesn't ride the fun bee before. Now you finally see him in that fun bee. You see him in that character, and you see their relationship, and it's great. But you're right. He's a little too serious for Rhodey.
Yes. I didn't hate his Rhodey. I'm just saying I like Cheadle's Rhodey better.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm sure he wanted to step into the suit, but hey.
Yeah. Next time, baby.
Next time, yeah. I love that. I remember watching that in the theater, and the theater cheered.
Yeah.
Obviously, I saw it like midnight on Nerd Night or whatever. But
Which part people cheered at?
When later on in the movie where Terrence Howard says "next time, baby."
Oh, next time. Although he never gets to wear the suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he has a suit at home. Just like he probably just bought the suit, replica of the suit. It's in his house. He looks at it every day.
Now it would suck if he bought that right before he got fired. It's like, damn, you can't just can't just return this. The Jericho.
I was tutoring at this charter school in San Diego when this came out that year, and you're right, he's such a likable character. Even the teacher was like, I was watching Tony Stark, we were doing like some type of a character development course for the class, and he was like, I really believe Tony Stark was this badass guy, and I loved him to death. I'm like, this is a teacher talking to the high school kids about how much she loved Tony Stark.
Wow. Wow. And this is Tony Stark 1? This Tony Stark?
Yeah, this Tony Stark.
Oh, wow. Dang, that teacher. That teacher's life. She needed an escape.
She's a young teacher.
Yeah.
Video calls like that were
This
still
is the
kind of
fun
rare
V.
in 2008.
The fun V. What do you look? Okay. 16. Wow, that doesn't even seem like 16 minutes. So we finally caught up with present time. It took 16 minutes to see this explosion and see him get caught.
But it's a good thing because you see the explosion at the very beginning, so you have action at the beginning of this movie since it's an action movie. That's probably one of the devices, just because with action movies, they like to bring in action at the very beginning to keep people interested. People want to come see the movie. They're action buffs.
Yeah.
I just can't get over the fact that, when we saw this 10 years ago, who would have thought, where we'd be at now with these Marvel movies?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like which are the highest grossing movies of all time, so interconnected character. I'm not a comic book reader, so I only learn about these characters for the first time through the movies and stuff.
See, that's a good thing because
I knew nothing about Captain America or Thor. But I remember, but that's kind of cool because I remember the feeling like the end of what is it? The end of Iron Man 2. When do you see Thor's hammer in the ground?
That's,
the end credit scene. I think it's Iron Man 2.
That's
Where's it here?
actually here. I did this.
No, the end of this one is when
no.
Fury pops up.
Right,
I think it is Iron
That's
Man
when Fury
2.
pops up.
It's the end of Iron Man 2, I think, when
You're right.
Coulson pulls
right.
up the hammer, and I was like, I think I've heard of
And
Thor.
it's at the
Like, I
end of
knew
Thor's.
nothing of these characters. Where
Yeah.
they tease Captain America, they tease, like, I knew nothing about
right.
Nick Fury, and
Well, my best friend.
I learned
growing
about
up,
it for the first time.
Thor was his favorite character, so he had Thor like pictures up on his wall, and I was like, "Who is this Thor guy? He's not even cool. Like, what does he even do? Like, you barely heard of him." I knew he was kind of badass, based
I
on
knew
the
who the
pictures.
Hulk was from, like, some of the other movie and stuff, but, like, I didn't know who Iron Man was before I saw this, but...
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's funny because all of Marvel, when they started up, they only had the B movie characters left.
Mhm.
The B characters.
Yeah.
They don't make movies out of Iron Man, Captain America,
Like,
Thor. They don't make movies out of them. But
Well, I mean,
those are the people they had the rights to. So if they were going to do it,
I mean, no one. I don't think anyone. I didn't foresee Disney.
Well, here's the
Acquiring
thing, too, and
Marvel.
this is... I was thinking about this. Okay, at this point in time, 2008, there have been good superhero movies, but most superhero franchises kind of, like, fizzled out after, like, 2, maybe 3 movies, and then they started to get bad. Like,
Third Spider-Man.
like X-Men,
third
yeah,
X-Men.
third Spider-Man, third X-Men. By like the third Batman, they started to get bad. You know, for the once like
Burton's Batmans.
well,
no, after Burton, it's
After
like
Burton.
when
Oh,
like Schumacher
Schumacher's-
took over. Yeah, those started to
the
get
third
goofy.
Batman was
Nobody
horrible.
takes us seriously. At this point, we had only had
I don't think Schumacher
We'd
took
only
those
had-
seriously.
Batman Begins. Dark Knight didn't come out
Yeah.
for 2 months after this. So like at this point, like nobody really took comic book movies very. Yeah, sure, some of them made decent money, but then
Right.
creatively. And that still happens with most franchises.
Right.
Like franchises like run out of steam after the second or third movie, but like
oh
the
yeah,
fact that they've been able to, maybe it's because it's so many different characters and they have so much source material. It's not trying to rehash the same thing all the time, like
Right.
the Hangover movies or something. You know, it's like you
Yeah.
are. But I don't know. How do you get so many directors and actors over the years that just it all blends? You know,
Well,
it's like
they
Kevin
have- they
Feige
have-
is like the one guy who like just keeps it consistent.
they have rules.
Yeah.
When a new director
But they
comes
do
on,
let them break.
yeah.
Like Thor Ragnarok is so different from the
Well,
other
no.
2 Thor movies.
Well, I
and,
don't mean
like-
Thor. I don't mean movie rules and style. I mean
Oh,
rules.
I'm
Like
saying, yeah.
you got to follow the storyline. This
Right,
can't happen.
right.
You can't do this. You can't introduce.
They
this.
give you some
But-
creative freedom,
yeah.
but it still works. Like I was
Yeah.
reading, like they had to rewrite most of Thor's scenes in Infinity War after they saw what Taika Waititi was doing in Ragnarok and turning him
Yeah.
into more of a comedic character.
Interesting. That makes sense.
And so they kind of had to rewrite his scenes to reflect that.
That guy, that actor's from San Diego,
Oh
the main terrorist dude. I
yeah.
believe he's from Escondido.
I'm gonna re-up while Tony's getting tortured up.
Yeah, these cave scenes are so good. They feel so like independent film.
Hey, anyone need anything?
Good. Chris is going to get a beer, guys.
It's tough. It's tough watching Tony Stark get roughed up like that.
As roughed up as he gets in Infinity War.
Fuck, dude.
Are we
Like,
assuming
I wanna-
people who are listening to this have seen Infinity War? I would hope
I
so.
hope so. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but damn.
Well,
I was thinking earlier, like
Tony
Thor-
Stark and pretty much every other character get fucked up in Infinity War. Just put it that way.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't need to get
Well,
more specific than that.
shit,
but-
Stone Cold.
Spoiler alert.
Well, you had to assume going to that movie most people are going to get fucked up. Well,
Yeah.
we won't say how they get fucked up.
I think Thor Ragnarok was.
Also, is this podcast allowed to be R-rated?
Ooh, I think it
We've
has
already-
no rating.
We've already dropped some F-bombs.
Have we?
I
I've
just
been
was.
trying not to.
Whoops.
PG-13. No, you get one.
Oh, you were
PG-13.
conscious. I wasn't conscious of it, so I don't know. I actually don't know.
I figure my niece is gonna watch this, so.
Okay. Oh.
I mean, we can curse. She's going into
Oh,
the 6th
darn it.
grade, guys.
How old is she?
11.
Oh.
She's going into the 7th grade. Actually, I don't
Well,
know,
she's
6th
about
or
to go into
7th.
6th grade pretty fast now.
Yeah. She gonna learn today.
Learn today.
Dude, doesn't the world just seem so much simpler? Think of the MCU and how complicated it got with like all the Doctor Strange stuff and all the alien invasions. Like, here it's just a guy in a cave with shrapnel in his heart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no aliens. There's no invading force. There's no different dimensions. Think about how complicated the MCU gets.
I really love.
It's so simple. The world is so simple at this point. I don't know.
And I love the fact that we're dealing with Tony Stark and panic attacks in the third one. I love that's like.
Yeah, he's a very human. Well, he's like one of the members of the Avengers who doesn't actually have powers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rhodey doesn't either, and I guess Black Widow and Hawkeye don't either, but they're surrounded by these super powerful beings.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Marvel is going to take place before this, so whatever happens to Captain Marvel happened like 10 or so years before.
Early 90s, right?
It's going to happen way before
the 90s.
This. Okay.
Fury's going to have both eyes. One of his eyes will have hair, no eye patch. Yeah. Coulson's going to be back.
Oh, really?
Which he's currently alive on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anyways, but...
Yeah. But no, that'd be dope. Bringing him back for the movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
This is like... This part is cookie-cutter filmmaking. You know, you have that side character that you can relate to that kind of helps you really fall in love with your main protagonist a lot more. I really love this guy, the doctor that he saved. He brings so much humanity to Tony Stark, I think.
Just think, during the events of this movie, Captain America's still frozen under ice right now. Think of all we've seen Cap go through during this movie. He's still under ice.
Yeah.
Well, he's been under ice for damn near 50 years at this point. So he don't know no better.
Remember, it wasn't... Oh, no. And Hulk. Remember, Hulk had that Easter egg with the shield in the snow.
Yeah.
Was that...
Was
that Lee's version? Or no, that was...
No,
that was Norton version.
It was
a
Norton version.
After this. Captain America's shield is on Tony Stark's workbench in this movie, too. Which does that even make sense?
It was a prototype. It wasn't actual shield.
Yeah, because who gives Cap his shield? Was he frozen with his shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably...
It's not that shield, because he actually had that shield.
Howard Stark made the shield for him out of vibranium. But I love how, like, it takes us another 10 years to learn where, like, vibranium comes from, Wakanda, and, you know.
We can literally have 3 films just about the relationship between Tony Stark and Captain America and Tony Stark's dad. Just like that conflict is so great.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Must be so weird for Cap. I love those scenes where, like, Cap and Bucky, whenever they have lines since, like, Winter Soldier, where they acknowledge how old they are.
Yeah.
Like, this must be, like, 100 years old. Or they're talking about the girl, and he's like, she must be 100 years old. And he goes, so are we, pal, or something. Like, I don't know. I just love that when they acknowledge that.
What about this one? Steve? Steve? Save me.
It's so sad. We've known each other for like 75 years. Okay, so is it the end of Iron Man 3 when he doesn't need the chest piece anymore?
He gets the surgery at the very end. Yeah.
Right, so he doesn't have a chest piece at all until Infinity War.
When
he has one all of a sudden, but I think it's because it contains the nano suit.
Yeah.
So it's not like
it's similar technology that happens.
But is it actually embedded as his chest, or is it just like
I think it's like put on his chest.
Well,
I'm sure it's not sticky.
Well, in Black Panther, doesn't the suit come out of like the necklace?
It comes out of necklace, but it comes out of necklace, but he puts the necklace on.
Yeah.
They can take the necklace off.
Do you remember? That's actually the first Iron Man I think I ever saw. What? That drawing of the big Iron Man suit with the big clunky. I think that's one of the first Iron Man.
And as far as I know, that is like very, very close to the comics actual origin, where this is because he gets kidnapped, and that's how this is what pushes him to make their first suit.
Yeah, origin stories are amazing. Look how big that thing is.
I know.
His chest takes up his whole chest.
You know that the guy who directed The Notebook almost directed this movie?
Oh. Really? Who almost directed The Notebook? I feel like that's a name I should know.
Directed The Notebook. Was it Cassavetes?
Oh, okay, John Cassavetes?
Yeah. No, Nick, I think.
Nick Cassavetes. Lasseter? Oh, no. I'm just saying names right now.
There's a lot of directors.
Just names. I don't know. John Cassavetes is like
I think Nick Cassavetes is
talent agent that rips people off. the
You don't got IMDb on your phone? What's going on?
I'm working on it.
Chad doesn't have an iPhone, people.
uh,
So you're the
What do you
reason
need
why.
an iPhone for?
You're the reason why when I mass text with multiple people, it comes up green.
yeah.
Remember we compared emojis, how different they
Yeah.
look on the two phones? Why am I... Okay.
Okay, there's not
Carry
any,
on, carry on.
We just,
All right,
let's
this is
let's
when
talk about what we're building
now
on
now I like how he plays this, but to me, if I was Tony Stark, I would at least build a thing that looked like a missile in there
Yeah.
while building the Mark One.
But he's so smart, right? So he knows that these people aren't going to question whatever he's doing, I guess.
Well, yeah, not right away, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny. Like the scene that'll come up next, like I think is this one right here, where they're like
It doesn't look like anything in the
they're looking at him, and he's like testing out the leg piece. I'll bring this back up, and they're looking at the video, and he's testing out the leg piece. I'm like, come on, that's not a missile.
Right.
Yeah, right there. When he's testing out the leg piece,
He's-
like that ain't no missile. Come on.
So he knows, right?
Well, yeah,
the
this is when they
main
come. This is when they come in
Yeah,
and like,
makes sense.
you see, and he knew where the camera was at.
Yeah. This is 2008, so this was filming what?
This
Late 2006,
was
2007.
filmed in 2007, yeah.
So
So I
terrorism
think-
is still a huge thing here
Yeah?
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in
Well,
America.
They're still
Oh,
very
yeah.
much in Afghanistan and
Yeah.
Iraq.
Never forget.
So Tony Hart.
Well,
Tony Stark
originally in
is
the
like,
comics, he was like a Korean war vet, then he was like a Vietnam war vet, and Favreau didn't want to make a period piece. Here's another thing I just thought of. So, Marvel, probably the biggest character they had the rights to at the time, probably like Captain America, right? Everybody knows Captain America. It's probably best that they didn't start with that, because that would have had to be a period piece.
Right.
Yeah. What'd
Period
you start
pieces
with?
generally don't do it. You don't want to start with a period
Right.
piece.
That's why I wasn't a big fan of the
Because
first,
if you think about it, the linchpin
Out
of
of
the,
America.
of the MCU is the Stark family. They
Yeah.
literally are the connecting fabric to everything.
right.
So you either could start with Tony or you could start with Howard. But like I think it's better to start modern with Tony.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
you see all Howard's background, which is explored starting in Captain America. But then you see that all through like, you see him in Ant-Man. He just connects all the characters, and and Tony's connected to all the. I don't know. It's like it's like the Stark family is they founded. They
It's like the
co-founded
Skywalkers.
Shield.
Skywalkers
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
fucking-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the MCU is the Stark family saga.
Right.
Oh my god.
Well,
Never even thought of that before.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. Tony, you need kids, bro.
yeah, he needs him fast.
Oh,
Yeah,
such
see,
a
this
good
is-
character. His little
And this is one of the things that make him likable too. When he
saves him.
when he sacrifices to save him.
I need him. Yeah, is this the first time he's admitted any type of like weakness? Like I need him. That's
Yeah.
that's not Tony Stark thing to say.
Yeah, no, this is where you see another side to his character.
And he seems he's being devoted to him too.
A hero moment.
Oh snaps! He needs him.
Robert Downey Jr. does such a good job at hiding emotion, but showing it simultaneously.
Oh yeah, no, he's.
Oh yeah, because he always wants to he tries to keep that outward like shell, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean. There you go.
Like I literally cannot think of someone else who could have played this role. It's like
Well-
who else could have played Professor X? You know what I mean?
Well, at that time, they was picking him. Everyone was picking him before he was casted.
Yeah.
Now that we know him, I don't see anyone else playing him. But
It's the only MCU score that Ramin Djawadi or whatever how you pronounce his name did.
Mm-hmm.
He does Westworld, Game of Thrones, He's done a lot of good movies. Like, he did Pacific Rim. I love the score to Pacific Rim that he did. It's, like, very kind of rock influenced. Like, I think he's, like, a protege of Hans Zimmer. He's, like, in that whole... in that whole group.
Ooh. Lock it in.
Okay, if Hans was going to do a Marvel film, which film would he do? Which film makes sense?
Well, he's done DC.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He's still doing DC.
Like, what's the darkest Marvel storyline?
MCU? Darkest one?
I've thought about this. Okay, so I have no idea what's coming after, like, these future Avengers ones, right? They're going to introduce new characters I've probably never heard of. I've never heard of so many characters that they've... But, like, it's crazy to think how many characters... All the characters we know and love from Infinity War, I had no idea who any of them were at the time I watched this. Like, I never heard of them, most of them, right?
So you never heard
of them. Thinking now, in 10 years, I'm going to be looking at Infinity War. I had no idea these great characters who I love. Like, I never heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy before. I love those characters now. So, now... 10 years later, we'll look back on Infinity War. We'll do this for Infinity War someday, and I'll be like,
Chad, you're also...
Oh, I never, could have never imagined I hadn't met these other characters yet,
Chad, you're also the guy who didn't watch... Only person I know that didn't watch the X-Men cartoons.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's great. Yeah.
Wait, did you watch the X-Men cartoons?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I watched X-Men.
I did.
So good.
Oh, no.
So you had no idea how excited the rest of the world was when Phoenix was showing up at the end of the second
I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, man. It was on.
I didn't know what that meant. When Jean Grey turns into... You just see the shadow of, like, the...
Yeah.
Was that the very end of the movie? That was
like
the last shot. Was that X2?
Yeah,
it was
X2.
That
was X2. No, Last Stand is when she was full on.
X2 for a long time was considered top 5 of superhero films.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it does anymore because... What's been put out in the last few years?
I would say.
Yeah. Oh, at the time, At the time this came out, like, X2 was, like, one of the best super...
Yes, I mean...
Spider-Man 1,
Spider-Man 2,
Batman
X2,
Begins. Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Blade.
It's not...
Blade or Blade 2. Guillermo del Toro did Blade 2. I think a lot of people forget about that.
Oh, yeah. Man, Blade 2
and Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3. Blade Trinity, I mean,
mistake,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds is all over the superhero. He's Marvel. He went to DC. He
came
back to
Green
Marvel.
Lantern. That's right.
That's right. He petitioned to be Deadpool for a while, right?
Yeah, and he's perfect for it. That's a career-altering role. Like he was born to play it,
Yeah, and after they screwed up Deadpool because he actually like protested the original Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
but they're like, hey, you do it or you don't be Deadpool, and so he just did it, and later on, obviously he got the chance to do it again. They only gave him $50 million.
To do it right,
56 million, and he
got $56 million for Deadpool.
No, that's how much the movie cost.
Oh, okay.
See, a lot of people actually.
What?
I feel like I almost started to forget at this point that he popped up in X-Men Origins as Deadpool.
Yeah,
that's a completely different character,
Well, because he was Wade Wilson, they just called him Wade. They didn't call him Deadpool. But
right, and then he had his mouth sewn shut.
So how does that even make sense? Because X-Men
the
Origins
took
place in like 70. Was it like the 70s?
There's a modern portion of it, didn't it?
There is, but yeah, because it was over time. But
right, but that when Stryker put together that team, what year was that?
Well, it was
80s, something like that.
Were you hoping in Logan that like Sabretooth would come back? It's like his brother, right? Since Logan was like the final thing, I was hoping like Liev Schreiber would pop up as.
I was so excited when he was cast. Oh man, I love that guy.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't even think about him.
Oh, here's something fun watching this from only 10 years ago is that they made practical suits for this movie. They don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah.
What was the last Iron Man movie where they actually had practical suits? They don't. It's all CG now. Maybe. Yep, they made not all of it obviously, but that's a good mix. They even built when we get to the Jebediah Stone in his big Ironmonger suit at the end. They even built that practical, like a huge 10-foot tall. Yeah, Stan. This was the last movie Stan Winston worked on before he died.
Oh really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Stan Winston died a month after
this
this.
shot. Boom.
So Stan Winston's studio.
Though the actual angle, it wouldn't have bounced right back to him. It would just bounced up. But, hey. It's a great movie effect.
Apparently Chris used to be in the military.
The ricochet angle. Not correct.
No, like this, obviously he has big old eye holes open.
It's like the Iron Giant.
Yeah. Light him up.
Got him.
Got him. Got him. I like the scenes. Like,
shouldn't Tony Stark feel kind of like weird about like killing people? Like that was probably the first dude he's like ever killed. He's never.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's like never killed anybody before this scene, right? In his own life,
right? Actually,
I think that would be kind of traumatizing for like a normal person.
Dude, he has the most traumatizing life.
I know, but like, does he even have time to process? Maybe not. He's just focused.
Well, right now, I don't think.
That's why he has anxiety and panic attacks in the third.
But think about how many deaths he's responsible for from this moment on.
Right.
Well, either bad guys or good guys,
Well, his weapons manufacturing, he was obviously responsible for.
True, but he could see he didn't have to usually witness that firsthand.
Well, it showed in that scene with Leslie Bibb how he reasoned, how he
Yeah.
how he dealt with that.
We should take a road trip up to like the California desert, find that cave entrance.
Do it.
So the flamethrowers.
The first feature film I was shooting in a cave, it was kind of tough, man. You can barely get any lights in it. I mean, you can have any. I mean, obviously, this big production here had generators and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Light them up.
Yes.
Now, see in this scene, there's a lot of bullets flying. He has big eye holes and mouth hole.
That was really
Nothing get hit. Doesn't get hit. But no, I'm saying, hey, he's Iron Man, of course.
Intentionally blowing up his weapons. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. You can see like the moving parts.
Yeah, in the back.
I kind of like this because you can. I mean, because maybe it helps that it's a practical suit, but you see how it works. Where like. I guess you could see you could credit
with this scene. You see how he goes down,
right? I was gonna say, I guess you could credit to advance in technology, but it's like the Iron Man suits become so advanced later in the movies that like you seriously think that they're indestructible.
Yeah,
like nothing can. I mean, I guess Captain America does damage it at the end of Civil War and stuff, but I mean, like they're so indestructible. And it's crazy to think he built it, and I don't know.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. We're not Tony Stark. It's such a good moment, too.
But this thing, you can actually see the weaknesses in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this suit was put together.
And how much he learned just from this experience of...
Like, look, the modern Iron Man suit would break into that many pieces.
And two, how the hell is he alive? That's the sand is soft.
And then he takes the time and builds the Iron Spider for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So good. Wait, here's something to think about, too. This is 9 years before the events of Spider-Man Homecoming, which means Peter Parker's like 7 years old or something right now.
Technically, he's 18 because Andrew Garfield's playing now.
I was just watching Social Network last night. We didn't meet Garfield. I touched Garfield's shoulder once. Remember at the DGA Awards? Were you there that first year? Yeah, you were there that first year. I was stationed out on the red carpet. That was my job. And we had to get everybody in so we can start the award ceremony, and I touched his shoulder and said, "It's time to go in, Andrew. It's time to go in."
Nice. How was the fun?
So, you're gonna be Spider-Man.
How was the fun, V?
How'd they find him?
The scene before where he's like, "I'm just gonna be flying over the desert until flying over the desert to see if we can see anything."
That.
Yeah, there's The scene right before was where he was like taking the crew out. So yeah, so he's just randomly flying over the desert. They do that.
Favreau was great in Homecoming too. He'd like
yeah.
babysit Peter Parker. That was great.
Is Pepper just as good at hiding emotion?
Yes.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow's a really good actress.
She is, but
that smile, no makeup.
The female version where it's a little more emotion in there. Apparently.
Yeah.
Was she more blonde in Infinity War? Does her hair
She is,
go more blonde over time?
Just like Scarlett Johansson is too, which is a goddamn crime.
Yes.
Why would they let her hair go not be red?
Why they just let her live?
Months. It's in there for 3 months. Wow.
3 months, yeah.
It's like people who, I know my girlfriend's brother, first thing he wants to do when he comes back into California is get In and Out. I know a lot of people like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine used to love Tommy Burger.
Tommy.
He'd get into town and get a Tommy Burger.
Burger King.
Burger King,
not In and Out?
Come on, Tony Stark.
What?
That's called
Let's
product
be classy
placement.
here.
It's called product placement. Who's pulling up the most cash?
That's true.
And now it's too busy paying their employees.
Ever seen that in a movie?
Too busy paying.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, there he
First
is.
appearance of Coulson.
Coulson.
Nice. I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've watched it since the beginning for 5 seasons. I'm a big fan, so this is fun for me to see Coulson when he was still in the MCU.
I am too. I mean, he's technically still in the MCU.
Well, he's in the MTV. He's in the MTVU.
MTVU.
But he'll be in it in Captain Marvel next year, which will be great.
Coulson's big role before this, he was a cop or an agent playing on another film or television show or something like that.
He was on that show with Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
the
New Adventures of Old Christine. He was like her ex-husband on that. Because I'll see reruns on sometimes, like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah, and I've watched reruns of that and I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And then he got this job. I knew about it at the time, that show, and then I was like, whoa, he's playing this.
It's so crazy to think, like, so many people, like, obviously half the world saw the Avengers when it came out in 2012, and, like, he gets killed off. And there's probably a lot of people who don't even, never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or don't even know what it exists, who knows he's still alive.
Yeah.
In the actual canon continuity, like, Coulson is not dead. He did not get killed by Loki. Well, he did, but they brought him back,
Right.
Yeah. It's very, like, 2000s hair.
Yeah.
Like, kind of long, with, like, the bangs coming down kind of thing. It's very...
Very boy bandish. Older boy bandish. Yes.
Jebediah is like, hold on, no.
So we can figure out what's going on.
Oh, shit. I'm getting a pay cut. I knew of Jeff Bridges, but only thing I'd really seen him in before this was Stick It.
Stick It.
Really?
Not The Big Lebowski, or...
I never saw The Big Lebowski.
What?
It's on my list. I know.
This is before he won an Oscar for Crazy Heart. It wasn't until a couple years after this.
Like I said, I knew who he was, but I just never physically saw a movie that I liked with him in it as a character, except for Stick It. So it was interesting to see him play this, and then to play Tron.
Yeah.
And then to go back and realize he was in the original Tron.
Yeah.
So I've had a fun little time of going back and forth with Jeff.
Bridges of Jeff.
Canon of Jeff.
Apparently Sam Rockwell is considered for...
Iron Man?
Yeah, Tony Stark. He ends up being the villain in the next one.
I like Sam a lot.
There's a lot of Oscar winners.
Yeah.
Or
Sam
Oscar
just-
nominees in these movies. Now Sam's an Oscar winner. Jeff Bridges is now an Oscar winner. Ben Kingsley's an Oscar winner from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
I mean, all the Marvel movies, they tend to get a lot of, like, well-respected actors. Now, I think actors want to be part of it now that's successful, but
yeah.
they were able to get top people early on. Yeah, Terrence Howard was an Oscar nominee at the time they made this.
Well, the thing
Gwyneth
is,
Paltrow
MC
must be an
treats,
Oscar nominee. She must be.
yeah, MCU treats their characters.
Yeah.
It's not just
It's not. They're actually well thought out characters. Yeah. And I mean, it really does raise your star power.
It's like, let me see this reactor.
Yeah, I was really excited when they cast what's his face for the next film as the villain.
Oh,
Can't think of his
Rourke,
name.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't he win an Oscar for The Wrestler or something? Yeah,
Yeah, he won an Oscar. Yeah.
I do agree with some of the criticism sometimes that some of the villains are kind of forgettable, though.
In Marvel.
Well,
But maybe it's mostly a lot of the guys who only appeared in one movie, like Sam Rockwell or him. Like, I don't know, just like, or Mickey Rourke. I don't even remember what his deal was. He was like a Russian guy. You know what I mean? It's like some of them are a little forgettable.
Oh
my God, is that a 4x3
Wow.
television? Low def.
Isn't this guy in the Marvel Universe again somewhere?
Who? Stark?
Jim Cramer?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I know he's
But maybe it's because all these villains seem so insignificant now compared to Thanos.
Yeah.
Who's been lurking in the background.
Dude, we had two of the greatest Marvel villains ever in 1 year. If you really think about it. With Black Panther and Infinity War. In the same year. Just think about it too. We had Dark Knight and Iron Man the same year.
Yeah.
2008 was like the year for superhero films.
And you had Incredible Hulk. I like the Ed Norton Hulk.
I do like that Norton Hulk. I just didn't think it was going to work out because I know Ed Norton's a little difficult to work with.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he's not going to like want to play ball the entire time with this franchise.
Characters that have been recast in the MCU. There hasn't been that many. Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Rhodey. Red Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And,
Who else has been recast? They're really like... That's the other
Tony
amazing...
Stark's dad. No.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, Howard Stark. No, you're right.
Really
You're right.
cast, but yeah.
No, there was another guy playing...
Yeah.
Well, not in the MCU. Spider-Man hasn't been recast in the MCU.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's another thing that's an amazing achievement. For 10 years and 19 movies, you have pretty much the same exact cast playing the same exact characters. Yeah. It's like never been done before. Even James Bond reboots James Bond every few years. You know,
Right.
It's like...
Well, no, that's true.
It's
the thing
crazy.
is, it's like,
it's insane.
what's going to happen when, he is too old to play him. Like, he even mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's because it's a continued universe. You can't just, we could technically, but you can't just pop him in there and have the storyline be the same. You can't just pop a younger dude in there and like, oh yeah, Tony Stark's young now.
Right.
Yeah,
That's how
no,
projects
you can't
take
do
over.
that.
Yeah.
See, this is a practical effect too.
Yeah.
It's a prosthetic
every time I
chest.
see this, I can't stop looking at how cool it is to see.
Yeah.
It's like playing Operation.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And touch the sides.
Oh, it hurts every time I see this.
But that's what makes the MCU so great. It's just you see these familiar faces, even if it's for like a minute or a little cameo in each of these quick little movies. Like Chris Evans has had a couple of the best cameos as Captain America. Like it Thor: The Dark World, where like Loki just changes into him real quick.
Oh yeah.
And then in Homecoming, when he's doing the PSAs on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got the best like quick little cameos.
Mm-hmm. Such a good moment between these two.
This is that time. He doesn't have anybody. That's when he's
time
starting to
Tony
get more
has
human.
Shown vulnerability.
He's just got like the same facial hair as Doctor Strange.
They're fucking twins.
I don't think they should have made.
I love this
They
scene
should
too.
have made
It's like,
mention of that in Infinity War. They had to get him shirtless for a scene, you know.
Oh, such a good payoff. I forgot about that.
yeah, exactly.
What?
He needs that chest piece later.
On. Yeah, this she keeps it.
So crazy. Is that true or not? Intuition versus programming? Like, is programming ever going to be able to beat intuition?
No.
I'm probably working on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm sure it's come a long way since
Right.
2008.
Yeah, once intuition beats it, it's
those self-driving cars
it's
now.
Matrix.
Yeah, but then you look at that self-driving car that had an accident recently.
Yeah,
A few years
it's gonna
back.
happen.
Yeah,
but as long as it
Intuition would've-
reduces the frequency from what.
Right.
Well, the thing is
currently
that
happening.
if they actually take over,
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers of accidents will probably be way down.
Oh,
the problem is liability goes to, hey, it's a machine, so we couldn't avoid the accident, where there's way more accidents with human beings.
Correct. Way more. Like, we talk so much trash over one accident that happened with the Tesla versus the hundreds
Look
that
how
happen every day.
look how serious Terrence Howard is in this movie.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's funny
Get
because
your
like
mind right. He's so serious.
this back when the movie actually, the MCU movies actually took themselves a little more seriously too. There's
Yeah.
funny as like
Yeah.
jokes in it. It's light, but
What's the most serious MCU film? I feel like I want to say Iron Man 2. Felt really serious, but then it had Rockwell in it, which was
The World of
huge.
Dark World's kind of serious.
Yeah,
Dark World's kind of serious.
Dark World's pretty forgettable for me. Like,
That's why they had to lighten it up and change it up
Winter
for
Soldier.
Ragnarok.
I mean, I feel Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier's dark, but it's awesome.
Yeah, no,
like
no,
that
no.
you can't.
Winter Soldier.
But there's still
cinema.
like great.
Yeah.
There are great comedic moments in there though.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well,
I mean, most of the MCU
Winter Soldier's my
movies
favorite
do
MCU
have that,
movie.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
me too.
it's-
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
but the thing is, like, when I talk to people about it, I was like, yeah, it's mine. I can understand if someone says
Civil
Guardians of
War's
the
got a
Galaxy
lot of
is.
dark stuff in it too. But there's also a lot of
Oh, yeah.
humor in there because you had
Oh, yeah,
Peter
no, it's
Parker
pretty
to the
dark,
mix,
and-
and
There's some dark parts in
Yeah, Winter Soldier
Civil.
might. be
as far
the
as like most
darkest.
comedic, I mean, you got Thor Ragnarok, obviously the Guardians movies, Ant-Man is pretty comedic.
yeah.
But see, they're all the same universe and it works, and you can have these blending tones, and they just go with what works best for the character. And then when the characters meet up, you have to kind of find a good balance, which they've done.
Yeah.
Infinity War is a great balance of all these different characters from different franchises.
Yeah, I thought Civil War was a great balance, but I feel like Infinity War even more.
Oh, yeah.
Because Infinity War has so many more characters. And just to be able to draw all of them in together to one central plot and make it pay off as
Yeah.
it did. Wow. That boot.
Das Boot.
It's a long way from nanotechnology.
Now, this is the thing too. You see, in the scenes, you see like how hard it is for him like to learn how to use these things.
Yeah. We need to see that.
But then Iron Man 2, when Shield throws it on, he's all ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then as other movies, when someone else is in the suit, like in Iron Man 3, people pick it up right away.
Right.
I'm like,
Technology's gotten a lot better. Like,
yeah, I mean, I
Cruise
guess I
control
can
works
say
better?
that. I guess I can say that he built the suits to like be a little more intuitive, but
Oh.
fire extinguisher goes off.
I love this learning scenes.
You know, one of my favorite things about the Iron Man movies, I don't think it happens in this one, but it happens, I don't know if it starts in Iron Man 2 or 3, but like, I love the technology stuff, but I love it when he can just like summon a suit and it just like shoots
Yeah.
out of somewhere like 100 miles away and it finds him and envelops him. I love scenes like that. Like in Infinity War when he calls it for Peter Parker, he calls he's like, oh, fire off T-19, and you see like fire out of the Avengers headquarters in upstate New York, and within like a minute, it's in New York City, and it's just like. Where it just like opens up like a missile in the air and the suit just envelops. Like I love that stuff. I don't know. I love. I remember
Peter Parker didn't see it coming. If I remember correctly, right?
No, he didn't. No.
I do like the pressure on Iron Man and 2 of the government wanting control of that suit.
Yeah. Which would
I think it's very realistic.
Real life, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same piano that his mother was playing in the scene in Civil War?
Yeah. How many minutes was it before we saw Captain in Infinity War? It felt like it was a good...
It was a while. It must have been at least...
It felt like the second act.
30, 40 minutes into that movie, at least. Maybe even more.
That's probably my only wish.
It wasn't 30,
Did you guys notice that?
Because that was the second scene.
Wanda kind of like lost her Russian accent. She was not talking in a... I don't know what happened there, but...
Wait a
I
second.
think Elizabeth Olsen forgot.
You sound like those kids from Family Matters.
Because that's like the third major scene, right?
Third movie she's been in?
No. Third major scene with Vision and her.
Mm-hmm.
When Captain shows up later on. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, because he shows up in the shadows.
Yeah.
I was like, who is it? Is that Batman? Who is it?
Where's that pizza from? Oh yeah, apparently they did actually improvise a lot of this movie.
Yeah. Oh.
Makes sense.
Oh.
Now, this house is the one that gets destroyed in Iron Man 3. Is it Iron Man 3?
Yeah. Oh, that was a tough scene to watch.
Yeah.
And then he just moves into the Avengers Tower. So he moves from California to New York, basically.
Mm. Where'd you guys see this when it came out?
When or where?
Where? I saw it at the Dome in Hollywood.
I saw it Sherman Starlight. I'm going to say.
That's a great...
You weren't in LA yet, were you?
No, I was.
I wasn't. I was just
visiting. I did my final semester of college here from, that went from January to April of 2008. And then I flew back east to go to graduation in mid-May. I may have seen it here before I went back, or maybe I saw it while I was back. I don't know. I feel like I saw it in LA. I keep all my movie tickets. I'll have to dig it out someday. I should line up all my MCU tickets. I've seen every single one in the theater.
Yeah.
I have them all thrown in a shoebox somewhere. Oh, did we miss Cap's shield on the workbench? I forgot to look for it. I don't know where that is.
How do you think this is, since we all know that this was the Marvel film that propelled the universe?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Did it need to be? It had to have been an origins film. We needed an origins film to give us an idea of what the technology looks like, give us an idea of the key players. Like, we needed an origins film for sure.
And it starts. It's like this movie all, like I said before, takes place in the real world. You're not bringing in aliens and alternate dimensions and magic and superpowers now.
Right.
You don't do that till Thor.
That's how you get people in. You keep it grounded. You start out with that. This is like this looks plausible to you.
Yeah.
It's all technology based, this entire movie. The cosmic stuff, well, then, Hulk comes out. Hulk is a little more fantasy after this, and then you get to Thor, which really pushes it.
But the thing is, Hulk is real world though. He stays in the real world. Like, yeah, he's
but
he's
a guy,
in
you don't
world.
see dudes turning into like big monster where you feel like, okay, maybe some dude would like a billionaire with access to technology,
Right.
like it looks possible, like this augmented reality. This is an actual thing. I don't know. But so they found a good balance with the first few movies, and Captain America's still pretty kind of grounded, a little bit.
I mean,
just serum,
the thing is obviously being a little super social, but he wasn't. I mean, especially in the first one. I mean,
the first one was tough for me.
But then, really, because I really liked the first. I liked the first one.
Yeah. It's very different. It's very different. I never loved the first one, but maybe looking back as part of the bigger story, I can appreciate it more now.
You might be right, because if you would
Santa Monica.
Nice. If you would have started off with Captain America, I'd have been like, what is this? Like, you're right. I love the fact that it was grounded in reality, because I would Red Skull and all the other things that we saw in the first Avenger, or what does they call it? Captain America, the first
Avenger.
Yeah.
You can't start with Thor because Thor is way too weird and space. It's like it's Shakespearean. That's why they got Kenneth Branagh to do it, because it's like Shakespeare. It's like, but because people were already kind of invested in this universe after a couple movies, like
it was. You had to start with him. I mean, and the Hulk too, but the Hulk was mainly because there was already Hulk. The Hulk was probably the biggest character at the time when this was coming
he's
out.
not even that high compared to when he actually goes into space in Avengers.
Also, to get paid out too. But he's already lived through this. That's why he was able to tell Peter Parker, "Go back, bro. Turn back around."
Yeah.
I remember seeing this in a dome. Like the way he's falling right now, it was so huge, so scary.
See some LA streets I think that was Hollywood Boulevard right there. Maybe.
I think one of my favorite moments in any action film is later on when he has that fight with Obadiah and he picks up the motorcycle. And the motorcycle's motor's just like in neutral running at the same time. It's such a cool effect.
Obadiah. I've been calling him Jebediah the whole time.
Isn't it Obadiah?
Yeah, you're right. It is Obadiah.
Is that a saline?
That's like the best shot. I think this is the best shot of the whole movie. Just the way it's framed with like his foot in like the floor. It's just it's great.
Dude, Favreau is such a phenomenal director, man.
He is. Jungle Book. I mean, come on. He's doing The Lion King now.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I liked Cowboys and Aliens. Whatever. I enjoyed Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, it's alright. It was fine.
I didn't even know he did that.
Okay, it could have been better, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford in a Western together. I mean,
Proof that Tony
Stark. Now, where is? I guess it got destroyed with the house. It'd be like that'd be great if he still had that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, he uses it in the end of this movie, so
yeah, that's true.
I mean, like in the by Infinity War, if he still had it like on his desk or something.
He doesn't need it anymore.
Like
he has a heart.
Like when he breaks it. He breaks it. He uses it into this movie, so it's
never mind. You're right. Yeah. I haven't watched this movie in a long time, actually, so it's been a while. Obviously, I'd never opened this DVD before tonight.
Why do you think Tony or Iron Man 2 didn't do so well in perception?
And I haven't watched it in a while, but it's just not as well. I don't know. Maybe it's not as quite as enjoyable. I guess
I liked it enough. I mean, I had my gripes with it, but for the I felt it was the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I just think that
introduces Black Widow.
Some people didn't like it.
That was probably the most important thing about that movie.
Right. I mean, and the father aspect. I mean, all of the conflict with his dad and all that part where he's talking to his dad.
Is that where John Slattery starts playing him and there's like other flashbacks? I don't remember how they do it in our
No, he was recording some type of
I haven't seen 2 in a while.
A promo video for his little city.
Right. It was they take that from Walt Disney. It's like what Walt Disney used to do. Walt Disney used to do those films where he would like be in front of the model of like Disneyland and
right. Mm-hmm. Chris, you're an editor. The render is complete. It will take 19 hours to paint this. You know. All right, let's go to an award show.
Hot Rod Red. Think about this too.
Yeah.
He's got like this digital voice assistant in his house way before there's ever Amazon Echoes or.
Well, that's where they got the idea from. Iron Man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, seriously. No, but this could be an example of like pop culture doing something that's plausible with the current technology, but then people who work at Google and stuff using pop culture as an influence to actually.
Yeah.
It could have been movies like this that really sped along the development of voice assistants, augmented reality.
Yeah, because I didn't see a lot
stuff
of
like
AR
that just because
before this.
You know,
the only AR that we saw before, I think, was the table. You know how that table, you put something on the table and you can take images of it. That's the only AR I think I saw.
It's still not very like commercially available, but but I mean, I think people who
one of the
go
best
into
cameos right there.
We go.
Hey.
First one. It's kind of sad that because Stanley's like 95, they have him film like 4 or 5 cameos in like one day.
Oh, really?
For the upcoming movies, yeah. He films like ones for all the multiple upcoming movies like all at once, like in front of a green screen or something, and they end up just editing it into the movies and stuff. But I mean, he's like 95.
Yeah.
I don't know how many he's got left in him. Coulson, love it.
That's a long name.
I like how they're playing that out, but
damn, Pepper. Calm down.
Gwyneth looks good in this movie.
She does.
Oh yeah.
I think she loses her red hair in the third, right? She's blonde in the third, isn't she?
I don't remember.
Yeah, she does lose her red hair. I don't know.
I really like Iron Man 3.
I like most of
I don't like Iron Man 3 now.
Really?
I mean,
I like
not
it.
as much. No, that's
Shane Black
my worst ones.
is good with like the really fast, snappy dialogue, which fits this character and stuff. And they work together in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too.
Yeah.
See, I know a lot of hardcore comic fans were upset about the Mandarin twist.
I did not like.
But like, I knew nothing. Like I said, I know nothing about the actual comics, so like, I didn't.
That was a Shyamalan twist. He would have been crucified.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see that. I thought it, I thought it was fun. It wasn't sacrilegious to me or anything because I'm not familiar with the comic storylines. But that's
like, for Iron Man, it'd be like, oh, the Joker wasn't real. You know.
Don't you find out in Iron Man 3 that the Mandarins, the Rings organization?
If you have the DVD and you saw the extras.
Don't you find out that in the third movie that it was that organization was the one that kidnapped him in Afghanistan? It's all connected, I think.
Well, that organization was AIM. Wasn't is AIM, which is like in the comics, is like a group of scientists that just do things and they make things for evil, pretty much.
So the Mandarin, was it like the actor named Trevor or something?
Trevor.
That was the last one-shot Marvel made too. Was the one with Ben Kingsley's characters. They used to make those one-shots. But now I was just reading an article the other day. It's like Kevin Feige or someone from Marvel was like, "Yeah, they keep asking us to make more, but he's like, we don't have time. He's like, we're too busy."
Yeah.
With all the they're on they were on a 2-movie-a-year schedule. They're on a 3-movie-a-year schedule now, which is insane. It's crazy.
This is Disney Hall that they're at? Looks like it.
I think so. Yeah, it's the Disney Hall.
Pepper leans in. Dude, Pepper went 90.
Damn.
You could go 10. Come on, Tony.
She only knew what all they were going to go through in the next decade.
I know. Yeah. You're so right about keeping this world rooted in reality first. Because that was a problem with it. I was scared in Infinity War because I wasn't ready to go through the galaxy. That's why I probably didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy that much. because I don't like leaving Earth.
That's one of the
gotta get out
funniest.
sometimes.
That's
All
like
right.
one of the
Yeah.
best moments in Infinity War when you're like on Earth and it just goes space and like big
Yeah,
letters.
that's the greatest thing, yeah.
That's so good.
Leslie Bibb's back. I was just kidnapped for 3 months.
Wait,
They-
this is just like him finding out about Sokovia.
yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Tony.
So you just can't.
Straight.
You
Luke
just can't
Skywalker,
escape
dude.
being like responsible for death, no matter what he does. He stops manufacturing weapons. He tries to use the Iron Man technology for good, but it still causes deaths that are on his conscience. You know. Wow.
Oh, that's so true. That character turn that we saw in Civil War, and he had it already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was done. He knows he needs to be kept in check, and yeah.
That's when he learns he's not on his
I
team.
want to go back and see like Obadiah, like with his, like read the comics and see how integral he was in his life. Like that's the one thing I like about going back and watching like the Batman films, like finding characters that I didn't know existed before. Like I had no idea Fox existed, and then suddenly I'm watching a cartoon and I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
there's Fox. That's kind of fun.
We should have gone to the Marvel movie marathon before Infinity War. It was like 30 hours of like.
Really? There wasn't? Oh, shoot. If I had that
I
kind of
tried
time.
to do.
That'd be a bit much.
I tried to do Batman.
Oh,
The Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, then The Dark Knight Rises. That was tough. I
Those are
tried to do
long.
all 3 Transformers.
Those
They're
are
all-
long though. Back to the Future triple feature is a lot of fun. I've done that before. Did an Edgar Wright triple feature too, which was great. That was fun too.
Can I get like a
They have to be fun
83
movies.
minute per movie? Like,
Seriously.
What?
That's a famous frame right there with him with the hand up.
mm-hmm.
Used a lot of the marketing and stuff.
The time when
Wow,
I can't get over. I just haven't watched this movie in a long time, but after just having seen Infinity War and all the movies that came after this one here, it's just like how long ago this feels.
yeah,
Think of
but it doesn't
everything
feel
we've
dated
seen.
at all.
There are literally 18 movies we've seen after this.
Yeah,
18 movies, almost 20 movies worth of plot that we've seen happen after this one.
yeah.
yeah.
It just feels like so.
But see, that's
insane.
that's the one good thing about the MCU is that
It's crazy.
you know they find this balance to where the people that watch all 18 movies, they're still satisfied. You find this plot stuff, but then if you just jump in,
You can still
maybe
get
you don't
it,
know
I
every
think.
single thing that's going on, but
yeah.
you're still entertained by the movie. You know what's going on in it.
Right.
Even though I feel like
But-
Infinity War, the beginning of Infinity War, I feel like you don't know what's going on at the beginning unless you.
Thor Ragnarok.
Wow, if you
Yeah,
watch
but
Ragnarok.
you'll get the sense.
But-
It's fine, you know.
Well, no, I mean
Here's the
you
debut.
can still
of
enjoy the
Super-
movie. But
Yeah.
to me, I feel like
Yeah.
they jump right in.
Well, I told Maggie hasn't seen it. She hasn't seen some of the last few movies, but I was like, you gotta just see it. You know, it's one of the biggest. It's such a cinematic achievement. All right, so now we got the official suit.
But I mean, I feel like too
Jericho's
with
kicking
Guardians too. Not seeing Guardians too. You know how Manus is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean when Manus jumps on top of
But
it,
you
unless you know,
you
they don't
learn
explain.
through the plot of the movie. Oh, she can control people's emotions.
But
and
did you
stuff
really
like
learn
that.
that in Infinity War?
I don't remember.
Before
I mean,
that,
you
the
could-
only other time you learn it
go to
is
sleep, right?
I mean, when she jumps on top of Thanos.
she wakes up Thor. That's it. They
Yeah.
don't explain anything. Then she jumps on top of Thanos. To me,
Yeah.
I'm like, if you don't know who she is from Guardians of the Galaxy,
True.
what the hell is she doing?
True. Well, at this point, it's like, you know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
This is why Marvel figured it out. They know people are like, well, I got to see the new Marvel movie if I want to know what's happening
Yeah.
in this universe.
Yeah.
You know, they got people hooked. Like you need to
Right.
go if you want to keep up with the plot. You know, It's amazing that they were able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, people can still enjoy the movie even if they don't get every little thing.
Because most of the movies don't continue one into the other. You go into other characters for a bit,
right?
Then circle back, and they'll kind of recap a lot of the stuff that happened since the last time you saw them. And
this is tough to watch.
Here comes.
Superhero landing. I always just go back to think about Hancock.
Yeah.
Coming in hard.
That was this summer.
Was it?
It was the summer of 2008. Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Oh.
So good.
Right.
He doesn't have those lasers yet that he has in Infinity War. The lasers that just like spin around, the red lasers, and just take everything out around him.
He didn't shoot out of his chest in Infinity War. I wanted that once. I thought he was going to do that against Thanos.
Oh.
That's the thing. I don't know if that nanosuit did that. Because it wasn't...
Mob Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great, too. When he's... When he's on the phone.
Yeah, he gets shot.
Yeah, when he gets shot down just now. But when he's on the phone with Rhodey...
Oh, yeah. Suit's all scraped up. I love this.
Here comes the trailer shot.
Yeah.
Walking away from the explosion.
He's so little.
Let's take care of it.
That's the money shot.
Damn. Think about how many people he's just killed. Versus...
Well, he killed a lot of people, yeah. But he killed them. They were bad guys.
They're bad. They're bad guys.
Yeah.
But people give Batman so much shit.
Well,
I guess it's part of his character.
Dude, they gave Superman shit for for killing Zod and Swallow. But I'm like, the thing is, I actually like that part.
Yeah.
The fact that you actually got a sense of why he stopped killing and didn't feel like he should kill people.
Right. I get that Batman doesn't want to kill because he saw his family get murdered. Like,
yeah. And he fears in a whole other way. But the thing is, it's like, in the newer Batmans, it's the older Batman. The Batman Returns Batman is a little more grittier. He kills every once in a while if he has to.
Serious Rhodey.
He's not as naive as young Batman.
Serious Rhodey.
Hustle and Rhodey.
It's like...
Look how serious he is.
He's so serious.
His voice is always like right on like the cusp of like breaking like emotionally.
Yeah.
Like he always sounds like he's about to cry.
Right?
He's taking it so seriously.
But it's so crazy how he always sounds like he's about to cry, but then he's still so serious and we take him seriously. That's like a testament to his acting ability.
I love him though. I love Terrence Howard. It's such a stark difference between him and Don Cheadle.
Right. So
pun intended.
So we needed. I think that's what we needed though in this film, right? We needed someone that was completely opposite of Tony, so Tony could shine.
Right.
That way, when Rhodey comes, the Cheadle version, who's just as funny.
But I think the buddy aspect of the relationship really gets highlighted more when Cheadle takes over.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw them out partying and drinking stuff, but it's more believable with Don Cheadle.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but the plot calls for them to be more buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're both superheroes now. And later on in the second film. It's so good.
Yeah.
Is bought the farm official military speak?
I don't know. Let me text my roommate.
He's like,
Apparently, that's the Iron Man theme from the old
yeah,
cartoon
you see
show
his
from the
phone.
60s, right?
His phone. He has a smartphone.
Damn.
I mean, whatever. He's treating this
It's
like an Oscar caliber performance. Like
Yeah.
he's putting everything into it. You know, he's not phoning it in.
Which is
Look, he even had a glint. There was a glint
Yeah.
in his eye right there. It was like tears. Oh,
great moment. Serious Terrence.
Well, because the chute didn't open, because,
Open your shoe, bro.
it's like
when
Tony, you
Stark
can
be a
kill
hero.
all
We
the
need Tony Stark to be a
terrorists you
hero.
want, but
You
you
can't
can't
kill
let
an
one
American.
American serviceman die. That's it. That's where the line is drawn.
Yeah.
You see how they put in Whiplash? That's called foreshadowing.
Say Whiplash?
Whiplash 1, Whiplash 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because the bad guys and 2 is Whiplash.
Mhm. Just think of how great, too, like, the flying scenes become later on. Like, that flying scene in Iron Man 3 where he saves them all from the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That scene is amazing.
Yeah.
Air Force, they're falling out of Air Force One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene's awesome.
All those extras, too, were, like, divers in real life. Not divers, well, I guess.
Yeah, they
all
did some of
divers.
that practically, didn't they, with actual jumps?
Yeah, a lot of it. We were watching. I remember watching at the DGA. It was so. Oh, that's so good. Like, there was so much like of that background is just fabricated in post, but it looks so natural. Big Lebowski looking guy, pink striped shirt. I think we all had a crush on Pepper after this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's like,
So
what?
great. The robots just stopped too.
It's not the
They're all
worst thing you
caught.
walked in on me out there.
Ooh,
It's
white.
like, this is not the worst thing you
Interesting.
walked in
White.
on. That's
That's
okay.
an
Yeah,
interesting
you're right.
transition. Have there been other transitions like that in
I
this
think it's
movie?
the first one.
It was the first time I noticed it, at
Yeah.
least. Very George
Yeah, no,
Lucas
it's white
of
people.
Favreau to do that. Well, ILM to do the VFX for this.
How did he get there so fast? That's what I want to know.
I mean, we don't know how fast he got there. It
That's
could be
true.
the next day.
Paid his trinkets to kill a prince. Love that line. Who's a more believable character? Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne?
Believable?
Hmm.
Well, they're believable.
I think Bruce Wayne, because the technology isn't quite as advanced that Bruce Wayne uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
so Bruce Wayne really he could live could be a billionaire in a mansion with a big underground space who just has like a lot of cool gadgets and stuff. Whereas this is pushing a little bit beyond what's possible right now.
Mm-hmm.
well, but I mean, what's possible physically with the Batman? That's.
Well, I don't know.
I mean.
The Nolan films tried to kind of ground it as much as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is a devilish.
Wait, what does this thing do? I don't
Paralyzes you. He explains it.
Get one of those to use on Thanos.
Oh, wow. It's tough. Who are you more annoyed with? Pepper and her disliking of Tony and what he does? Or, I can't think of his name. Michael Caine's character in Batman.
Wow. Annoyed
The
with?
Dark Knight.
No,
The Dark Knight Rises.
Michael Caine's
Michael
character
Caine.
in Batman.
I can't think of his name. I'm spacing.
Alfred.
Alfred, there we go.
I like Alfred.
Who's the bigger nagger, Alfred or Pepper?
Alfred's bigger nag.
Well, Alfred is looking out for him and gives him. I think he gives pretty sound advice. Where, I mean, Pepper is not wrong, but it's easier to view that as a woman not, accepting all the reckless behavior of the man kind of thing. Whereas it's, I don't know.
Well, the difference is that
by
the time by the time the Batman, by the time Alfred's nagging him, he's been Batman for years. He's gonna just start nagging him when the cameras are rolling. While this just jumped off.
But Alfred's also a father. He's more of a father figure, so you can see it more of kind of sage, older wisdom, where she's more like a nagging girlfriend kind of thing.
I mean, I get that.
In a way,
the thing is, I get that, but this it just started happening. She's afraid for his life.
Yeah.
So this is more fear.
And I mean, it's
understandable. Whereas
understandable.
Alfred's seen Batman do this thing for years. He's been helping for years, and all of a sudden he's like, son, maybe you should get a girlfriend.
Right.
Hey, maybe you should hang up the cape.
Toll,
I'm like, why?
He's seeing the toll that
it's
it
worked,
takes
for all this 10 years, however old that Batman was.
He comes in the middle of the night, he's all bruised, and Christian Bale, he can barely sit up from bed, and he's got to bring him all his green smoothies and
green shake. It's like he yells at him because he's been in a cave for 8 years and hasn't even moved on with his life.
Yeah.
Now he's finally going on and doing things and becoming Batman again, and now he's even mad at him even more. It's like the perfect catch-22. I was very, very, very
afraid.
Not afraid, but not disappointed. I was annoyed with Pepper and Infinity War.
But really? For the 5 seconds she was there?
Right. Well, when she calls him and he's in the middle of whatever he's doing to find the space.
And she's like, get off the
It's like, do you want Earth to be destroyed?
Right. Pepper, get over
it. Well, but the thing is, he said that was a one-way trip. For him, it was like he would sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And that's why she was saying it. So I get it.
And
in fact, it was literally one nag, and we never saw her again. So
it was two.
it was mainly a device to show
Yeah.
that the danger he was actually in. I mean,
This is great too because when did that video come out of that first American getting beheaded? Like 2004. I think I was a senior in high school when that came out.
And what came out?
That video of that American soldier getting beheaded.
There was a bunch of those.
The first one was tough, dude.
Copy.
Why do old rich dudes dress so horribly?
They're old rich dudes. They don't keep up with fashion. That's why.
Like a wool suit.
It's called a time warp. There's this point in time where you believe you were cool,
Right.
and then that's the last point in time you believe you're cool. So you kind of stay dressing that same way. So a lot of people get caught in a time warp. It's just like when you see the old ladies, but they still have the hairstyle from the '90s. That's the last time they thought they looked hot.
Interesting.
And so they keep it. So 2000s come by, but they've gotten to the point where they're not following the trends anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That was when they felt the hot, and that's when they feel hot.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They need that.
Call that time warp. So
they need that green infinity stone to turn back time. I don't think I ever noticed like this is. I'm looking at since you said it was shot on 35. Like I'm looking at the lighting design in this film. I've never looked at the lighting design in any other Marvel film.
I thought you were about to talk about the aspect ratio because I was just thinking about that. This is 235 anamorphic, right? Which I bet not every MCU movie was shot anamorphic. Most movies are not shot anamorphic. I wish every movie was shot anamorphic.
Yeah.
Like look at it. Like I love the framing of anamorphic shots. I love it.
It's just so much more calming to the eye, I think.
I love cinematography. Yeah, just the balance of the frames. Yeah, you can just do really interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm curious how many of the MCU movies are shot. Infinity War was actually shot completely on IMAX cameras, which is crazy. So it's probably been framed for multiple aspect ratios depending on the theater it plays in.
Yeah.
Slide a hand. Slide up.
Where is that? That looks like Downey or somewhere.
I don't know.
Oh, this one.
Does Coulson come? Oh, nice.
The music again.
Like, who puts all those colors together in a suit? And that tie?
Don't
Jeez.
know.
Such a good moment. He yells. What do you say? Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. Sorry, sir, we're not Tony Stark. This is great.
I forgot that
Dun,
this.
dun, dun.
I forgot that this device existed.
On our way to Act 3. Yeah, he just showed that device, what, 15 minutes ago, the paralyzing device?
Yeah.
You know, what I was thinking about with the MCU, which has worked, is that, you know, you introduce these characters that are so powerful, these technologies that are so powerful. It's really a testament to the screenwriting and what they do with the movies where, like, pretty much you're almost never like, oh, well, this person can just snap their fingers and fix that. You know what I mean? Because they're so powerful. Like, it really makes you think that they can't. There's always reasons why their power is there. They don't want to do it, or, they can't just, even though they're most powerful people, they can't just fix it.
Right.
Or, I don't know. It's interesting. They create the conflict and the drama and the tension.
Look at this tilted 2-shot. It's very diabolical looking.
Yeah, the lighting right there.
I love how he just pulled up through the shirt. Still take his shirt off.
Look how like ghastly white
his face is.
make him look.
So technically, you only need to reference a big beat like this once, and then it pays off once you reference it again from a story aspect, because she took it out of his chest, he almost died, so now you know that it's out of his chest again, and he's going to pretty much die if he doesn't find it.
Yeah.
We never see Obadiah in anything else but this, right? Never.
No.
Even when we go back in time, we never see him.
Nope. I think the original plan was to have him live and get locked up or escape or something so he could pop up again, but they ended up just killing him off.
Yeah, it's like he didn't give an exact time frame of how long he's going to live, but
yeah.
He did answer. He answered. Okay, he sent him over there.
He would drive a big ass truck. Oh my god, that payoff with the robot too. Damn. Did he ever name him?
Which one?
His little robot arm?
The dummy? He called him dummy, that's what he called
Dummy?
him. He calls him dummy.
Little firefighter. So, Tony Stark is crawling to his old, what is that called? His chest piece?
Yeah, well, it's a reactor, technically.
So it's just like
arc
always
reactor.
on?
Arc reactor.
You don't even have to switch it on. It's just
Well, yeah, because once it's on, it's
just
generating
the
its own
reaction,
power.
yeah.
That's the thing. And so the whole point is that it generates its own power. Which later on he uses a version to generate
Sounds
power
like Wall-E.
for the Avengers building.
Hey, Wall-E was the same somewhere as
Yeah.
this too. Wall-E.
So this is what Disney gave Disney idea to buy Marvel. I don't know if that's true, but hey, it makes sense. Hey,
The thing is so huge. It has a huge suit.
well, shoot, I mean, if you're gonna make it big, right?
Right?
Hey, ask Godzilla. Size does matter, right?
I really like the sound design in this movie.
This was nominated for a couple Oscars. I think one was sound editing or sound mixing.
Yeah.
No.
And the other one may have been like VFX, possibly. Didn't win, but
What was this, 2008? What would have won that year for VFX? Some
there
Hobbit movie.
wasn't a Transformers movie. No.
It's like, how do you get that thing in there? How do you get that thing attached?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be enough.
Are those cars Audis now? Just one.
Yeah,
Is that an Infinity now?
that's an alley. first SHIELD agents.
This is pretty scary. When Obadiah's comes up out of nowhere. That's almost as freaky as, was it Civil War, where Hulk was chasing after Black Widow?
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Avengers?
Yeah, that was Avengers, yeah.
It's so badass, and it's practical.
For some of the close-ups of him in the cockpit, yeah.
Messed up his own car.
And he never sees Rhodey again. Or at least that version of him.
There it is, yeah.
There we go. Here's the moment that never gets a payoff, really. With him, at least.
Yes.
Okay, he did nail that line, though.
He did.
Yeah, he nailed it.
He nailed that line.
She should have jumped in the suit right then. They know use your last chance.
He didn't have a reactor, though.
Yeah,
How do you start it?
He couldn't have done it. He didn't know how to open it.
Suddenly we've turned into a horror film.
Yeah.
So badass.
It is.
You got to give Pepper these moments of realization too. You got to let her lead this lead this action and finding him.
Ooh.
Oh.
Looks like you need more people.
That's great.
It's all practical. No, it's not. Not in that shot.
Like he just shoots after her.
Hey, and that is a throw forward to the Hulk. Black Widow running away from
right.
Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we finally hear Jarvis again. It's not even. There's a callback to not having that target lock too in Infinity War, right?
Well,
I remember something about that.
No, I don't.
I don't remember.
No. Of course, that thing's huge.
Here it is. The motorcycle.
You know, motorcycle moment I love in
Mission
Civil
Impossible.
War, where Bucky, when they're in the street, and Bucky knocks the guy off the motorcycle and picks up the motorcycle and spins it around in midair.
Oh yes, that was great.
That was the best. So good.
Nice. Is that the first time he's used the chest?
Yes.
What a jerk.
Man, that girl. I guess she's want to get out of there.
Clean.
Oh. But I don't know. Why would you drive your motorcycle in between two fighting robots?
Right?
That's their fault. Insurance should not cover that.
All those big
Yeah,
robots
you
and
tried to
Transformers.
sneak by.
I mean, you gotta get out of the suit eventually. You're gonna go to jail. So I mean, come on now.
This feels like a very 90s fight. Like,
well, it's almost all practical explosions, it looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
There he goes again to the edge of space.
Look how big it looks. Looks like a fucking rocket jet just taking
That's
off.
a cool shot.
Yeah, yeah.
Rhodey has a lot of power.
Yes.
Yeah, keep going.
That's a good device too. 13%, 12%, 11%.
Yeah.
Like Nick Fury's car in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like window at 2%.
Oh, he's just like,
deploy
leave those
countermeasures. That's one of my favorite MCU scenes out of any of the movies. It's so good.
I love it how you have that moment of hope towards the end with Fury. Because you know how badass he's been in that car, in that truck. And you're like, maybe he... Nope. Just like everyone else. Spoiler alert. It's a heroic tone. A false ending. Or false victory. It looks so good.
Just enough to get back down. Why are you still standing there, Pops? Why are you still standing there?
Spot.
Why are you there?
Damn it, Pepper.
It's like Potts is still there, and the Saints get out of there.
You know, I noticed in this movie there are a lot of, and it might be in a couple of the other Iron Mans too, but I'm noticing these POV shots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see these those types of shots looking at their faces, but there's a lot of POV, almost like Terminator POV, seeing.
Okay.
You don't see those. They don't do those in like Infinity War. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I haven't seen those
Like
from
through the
Iron
eyes.
Man in a while.
Yeah.
Like his POV of his augmented reality from like what he's seeing.
I've never seen that one before. You
Yeah,
see
where
that?
it's like
we
turned
don't get to see
his
that
whole head.
anymore.
Yeah, that was
It went from a profile to a 3/4 to a close-up.
that was interesting. Yeah. I wonder how they film those close-up shots. So they actually put him like the black background like that, and then
Yeah, good question.
it's like Ellie Sattler turning on all the Jurassic Park like fences push to close.
Jeez. Oh, he took off his helmet?
Yeah, it took. Yeah.
Dang.
No, it just like opens up. Yeah.
Well, he had to open up because he pulled the wire, so he lost optical. He lost the screen.
He's so vulnerable without his helmet on.
Well, yeah. To me, it's like, all right,
He
one
have-
clean shot, you got him.
Yeah, he can have full power. Like that whole Thanos
How many
fight.
buttons and switches did she have to just flip there?
Get off the roof and let her do it. Do it.
Like, was there ever any doubt Tony wasn't going to win this fight?
No.
That's what makes Infinity War so great.
What's she doing? Hit the damn button. Well, he can let go if you push the button.
And bubbles come out.
Oh, maybe not.
Infinity
War.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. Hey, is that the
That's
like the Rainbow Bridge that goes straight to
the
straight to
Bifrost. The
Asgard?
Bifrost. That's technically a version of
Bifrost. That's right.
That's technically a version of his chest, the arc light reactor's chest shot.
Oh,
That's a giant reactor, and then just shot a beam out.
It'd be crazy if that's what like signaled. I don't know. They got signaled them in Asgard.
Oh yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
Another big practical explosion. Man, I miss those. You don't really see that much anymore.
yeah.
Big explosions are almost always CG now.
Well, he kind of needs that thing to be working, otherwise he gonna die.
I know, right?
I mean, the rest of the suit don't gotta work, but that gotta work.
Why is Colonel's abbreviation COL?
So that's how you spell Colonel. COLONEL.
Yeah, I know, but
Colonel
it
Sanders.
just sounds so weird and looks so weird.
Why do British people call lieutenants lieutenant, even though it's not spelled with an F? It's still spelled like lieutenant, but they say lieutenant. We have friends who just had a baby in March, and they named the kid James Rhodes Glass. His last name's Glass, but and I don't think they realized that James Rhodes was Rhodey. And I was like, do you know, like that's War Machine, right? And I don't think they had any idea. I was like, that's cool. Call him Rhodey.
Can I just name all my kids?
And his last name's Glass, so he could be Mr. Glass.
Yeah,
Right?
Mr.
Can I just name all my kids from the Shyamalan universe? That'd be great. Kids, my dogs, my fish.
You will. You will. You'll get that chance. David Dunn. Cole, yeah. Ezra Glass. Is that the first time he dropped S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes. Yeah, that was the first time.
First time the abbreviation, right?
Yeah. Even though technically, if you watched Carter, Agent Carter, they've been saying S.H.I.E.L.D. Wow, so hey.
Oh yeah.
Well, it wasn't called S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, but technically it became S.H.I.E.L.D. right after that.
The night you left me on the roof. She did ask for drinks. Just tell them what you want, Pepper.
Has there been a porn parody for every MCU title?
Probably has.
It was crazy. You go on IMDb, look up any of these movies when you go to connections, and it's like, oh, references referenced in, and it's like spoofed in, and it always lists all the
I've never seen that before.
On IMDb. Just a sidebar.
Well, it's all a bunch of black suits, and they stick Leslie Bibb right in the front center.
Right.
And and she stands out in a nice gray pink suit.
Sexist.
That's the
She didn't even have to wear pink. What do you think's better, this or Black Panther's press conference?
This.
Yeah.
Well, this was so surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
was like one of the
I
first
think
times.
we've been used to like
secret identities.
People keeping their secret identities for several movies at least till somebody finds out.
Well,
this was like, oh shit, okay, word's out.
Boom. Yeah, the theater
and credits.
Theater had uproar when that happened too, because
that's actually why I love the end of Homecoming too, where like Aunt May finds out about Peter right at the end. I was like, oh okay, they're not gonna. I was like, that'll be fun for the next movie.
Yeah,
and it's like, what?
They ain't bringing up the Infinity War.
That was a very good like cut to credits. That was great. Damn.
No, it was just. I mean, at the time, there wasn't really. They weren't really. Everything was secret identity.
Yeah.
Right. That's why, like, I think that was so to me, like, that was so surprising when I first saw this movie. I was like, "Whoa, okay, we're getting right into that." Like,
I mean, okay, is it just me? Every time Peter Parker took off his mask in Spider-Man 2, I had such like the nerd boner. I don't know why. Like,
I'm gonna say I just you, but
not because the fact that his identity was known.
Guys, I just thought of something. Main difference between the MCU and the DC film universe. MCU is embracing that in today's modern day and age. It would be way too hard to have like a secret identity. Like, people recognize Captain America. People recognize Thor. People know Tony Stark. Like in today's day and age with social media, like it's just part of who they are. Whatever. DC is still holding on to the kind of outdated notion of secret identities. Yeah, Batman still has a secret identity in the DCEU. Clark Kent. Yeah, mm-hmm. Even though I hated the way they did that in Man of Steel, where like, Lois knew who he was, because I kind of liked that aspect of the Superman character. But anyways, they still. Yeah, I'm sure Flash's identity is still secret, and you know what I mean. Yeah, they're holding on to that. That's not the case in the MCU at all.
Well. Spider-Man.
The only one, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, you're right. I guess you're right. Okay, I forgot about him, but
that's one.
That's true.
Everyone else.
Well, now his aunt knows.
Deadshot, but no one really knows about like all the Suicide Squad people. Really, we still haven't been in. We're not involved enough in that world to know whether or not the people know who those villains are.
Well, the government or whoever had them locked up knows who they are.
Yeah, their identities.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, there's exceptions. I think in each universe, but I think generally, MCU is kind of doing away. It used to be, you watch the old Superman movies, Batman movies. It's all about. Any of the Spider-Man movies all about protecting the secret identity. That's like not even a thing in the MCU at all.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is,
maybe it was Spider-Man still a little bit, but
in the comics it's that way too. Like people knew Tony Stark was Iron Man.
Yeah, people know that.
I mean, Grant. I guess it was a little bit with the Hulk. Not everyone knew that Peter Parker was the Hulk. I mean, Bruce Banner was the Hulk.
Right, but I mean, maybe the public in the MCU doesn't know everybody, but like they know who the Avengers are. Maybe they don't know their actual real names or whatever. But it's like it's not even a plot point that's brought up at all.
Think about the breadth of Batman's. For being as popular as Batman is, he's only one city. Like you never really see Batman interact. Like Marvel, they're worldwide. They're in different parts of the continent.
Except you have to wait till Batman v Superman when they actually go. Metropolis and Gotham are across the bay.
Whoa, really?
But no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Maybe that's it too. These guys feel way more relevant because if you had people like this on Earth with these abilities and stuff, they're going to be helping the whole world, not just like one.
Except for Spider-Man, he was in New York.
Yeah, he gets taken to a different planet in the Infinity War.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, in the movies,
I don't know. That's
I get that.
No, I mean,
but you see that in the Justice League too. I mean, obviously they all are in one area.
Yeah, they don't really go too worldwide and just do they? I don't even remember.
No, they go to the Themyscira. We got the Themyscira.
Oh yeah.
We go Atlantis. We go all over the place. It's just they're fictional in DC universe. The cities are fictional.
Yeah. So, it depends what they. Yeah, it's different what they decide to focus on. I guess.
So since they're fictional, technically Atlantis could be right across the street.
Right.
Themyscira.
Atlantis could be
from Gotham, right across the street from Metropolis.
Right under Marina Del Rey, like right under Santa Monica Pier.
Right. Central City could be Century City. You know,
Yeah.
hey, no, not Central City.
Damn.
Now, what percentage of the audience do you
Left?
think? Right, because this was Marvel. These Marvel movies have over 10 years single-handedly trained audience. I was amazed. Okay, so I saw Infinity War, but I saw 8 p.m. like Thursday night. So the people there are like the people serious about it. But like, I figure I've seen other Marvel movies in the theater. All of them, like, there's always people who get up and leave. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't you know? But like, nobody got up and left.
I'll tell you, I saw it at midnight.
Yeah.
On Thursday night.
Yeah.
And 11:45, pretty much nobody got up. I think there was one.
It's
I remember seeing one girl.
People are serious about it if they're there.
I remember seeing one girl getting up and walking out, and I believe she was going to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well,
she definitely didn't go to that movie by herself.
Well, and you also, if you really have to use the bathroom, you have 6, 7, 8 minutes of credit. See, I always, I work in the industry. I know people now in credits, so it's like I always read the credits. You always find like really interesting things, like where it was shot. I don't know. I like reading credits.
I'll
but
say
like.
this. Going to film school, and like also, I started appreciating credits and staying credits.
Me too.
But then there was a point where I was realizing that I was just doing it because I was a film person. That's what film person just is hanging by.
But I always,
and I was like, I don't read the names.
There's always little interesting tidbits, even if there wasn't an after credit scene in the Infinity War credits at the end. I like sometimes you'll like find interesting things in the special thanks or like. The rights to things at the end of the Infinity War. It says Arrested Development character appears courtesy of like Fox TV. I was like, what Arrested Development character? So I googled it. I guess Tobias in his Blue Man Group makeup is like right behind in one of the collector's cages when they go to the. I was like, I need to look for that because the Russo brothers directed a lot of Arrested Development and stuff. So that's why the blue stair car is in there in the airport fight in Civil War and stuff.
Remember when we worked at the DGA? Like. The worst thing you can do is leave during the credits. Like if you got
if you're watching it with people who
snarl at you,
right?
But to me, I felt it was just kind of like industry thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Hans has a credit on this.
See,
the executive music. I didn't know Hans had a tie to this to the MCU. That's crazy.
See, that's why you watch credits, kids.
Well, I watch credits go, all the movies I've been credited, like, my name's way at the end.
The Iron Man series.
Yeah.
See, they actually got help with the Department of Defense. It's kind of cool. I like to see Caesar's Palace.
I can't wait to watch Logan with you guys.
I've only seen it once. In the theater. It's been like a year or so.
I've seen it a couple times in the theater. Yeah.
I saw it.
I think I saw it.
Filmed in the United States of America.
I saw it like 3 times in 1 month.
Here we go.
I saw it twice in the theater. So
yeah.
Here we go.
Here it is.
They cut this out for test screenings so people wouldn't leak it.
Really?
Fair enough. This doesn't.
What is he doing in this?
Such a good line.
Oh, it's so quick too. So I guess we need to sign off.
The Avenger Initiative. Distributed by.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, friends. What are we doing next?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Are we gonna stay in sequence?
We'll let you know.
We could. Stay tuned.
All right, people.
We will return.
Signing off. Cape Seat Free will return. And
Cape Seat Free will return.